Hello guys, welcome to Daddy and the Don. Now that the draw for the 2025 World Snooker Championships has taken place, we're going to try to break down each of the quarters, work out who's going to win each side of the draw and try to predict an overall winner. We'll also discuss which qualifiers we think could cause a real upset in this tournament and which seeds we expect to crash and burn. So if you do enjoy this one, please remember to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel and we do appreciate all the support we get. Without further ado, we're going to get started with quarter number one. So starting from the top, Kyron Wilson gets his defence underway against Li Pifang. Kyron's done really well on tour this season, winning 4 trophies, including the German Masters, but Pifang's no mug either. He won the Scottish Open earlier in the season and he's 16th on this year's money list. Despite that, I still feel Kyron Wilson will come through this game fairly unscathed, probably winning 10-5 or 10-6. Jack Jones faces Zhao Xintong, and this is a fairly controversial one. Obviously, Xintong back from his ban, breezed through qualifying. Jack Jones, not the best season, did well at last year's tournament, but I think that runners-up position he had last year has carried him into the rankings. Number 16, got him by the skin of his teeth, but he's only 32nd on this year's money list. Provisional world number 20 for next season as well, so he needs to go far to ensure he gets back into top 16. Don't think he will. I think Xintong knocks him out here. I wouldn't say it was an upset because I think the bookies expect Xintong to win as well, but in terms of a seed going out, I think Jack Jones crashes out in round 1. Neil Robertson next against Chris Wakelin. 2 guys on really good form this year. Wakelin's number 13 on the money list for the 1 year ranking, so he's had a great year. But Neil Robertson, he's come back. Last year was in all sorts of trouble. He's number 4 on the money list this year, number 9 seed, won the English Open, looks to be back on form, so good to see him back at his best, and I expect him to come through this relatively unscathed as well. I'll probably say 10-6 or 10-7 win for Neil Robertson. And finally, Mark Allen versus Fang Zhenji. Both players probably not playing as well this year as they did the year before, although Mark Allen did win in Saudi. I think this will be one of the easiest matches of this quarter. Mark Allen should dominate this one. Fairly straightforward, routine path through to the second round with anything between a 10-4 and a 10-6 win. So from those results, I would expect Kyron Wilson to beat Zhao Xintong in the next round and Neil Robertson to win a thriller against Mark Allen, setting up Kyron Wilson versus Neil Robertson in the quarterfinals, where I think Kyron Wilson will be just a little bit too strong and he'll make his way to the semi-finals as the winner of quarter number 1. Second quarter now, and we've got Ronnie O'Sullivan versus Ali Carter. O'Sullivan hasn't played since smashing his queue up in January, so it's 31st on the 1 year rankings, still provisionally number 5 for next season, so needs a good strong finish in this tournament just to protect his rank a little bit. I did say before the draw took place that I didn't expect any qualifiers to give him any trouble, but obviously Ali Carter, they've got a bit of history, he could get under his steam, wind him up, but I still think Ronnie will do enough to overcome Ali Carter, probably 10-7. Next up, Zhang Anda versus Pang. This is going to be a really close one, and I think I'm just going to favour Zhang Anda in this one, although it is going to be really tight. I'm going to say he wins this one 10-9. C. Jai Wei versus Dave Gilbert. This should be C's game for the taking, but I just have a feeling Dave Gilbert may cause an upset here. Has a history of doing it, and I think again C should win, but I just have a feeling Gilbert will nick a 10-8 win here. I'm wrapping up quarter 2, Mark Selby versus Ben Wollaston. Selby's his usual self, cool and consistent, winner of 2 trophies this season, British Open and Welsh Open. No, not the most prestigious, but he has been quietly going about his business, number 5 on the 1 year rankings. And this should just be a routine, not procession, but it should be an easy enough win. I think he comes through this 10-5 or 10-6. And based on those results, I expect Ronnie to beat Zhang in the second round and Selby to also overcome Dave Gilbert, setting up Ronnie O'Sullivan versus Mark Selby in the quarterfinals, where if Ronnie even makes it that far, I don't know how he's going to perform, but I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt that he will turn up and play it somewhere close to his level. But I just think Mark Selby will take advantage of anything other than 100%. So if Ronnie's slightly off, Mark Selby will get under his skin, he'll grind out a win here. So Mark Selby will be through to the semi-finals as the winner of quarter number 2. Quarter 3 now, and John Higgins faces Joe O'Connor, both having really good seasons to be fair. Joe is number 20 on the 1-year rankings. John is number 3 on both the 2-year and 1-year rankings. Also won 2 tournaments this year, both very recently, the Tour Champs and the World Open. So he's looking like his best version of himself. Looks like he's going to put a serious challenge down for another world title. Expect him to come through this 10-5, 10-6, but Joe O'Connor will give him a run for his money. Xiao Guodong versus Matt Selt now. I expect this to be one-way traffic. Guodong won the Wuhan Open. I know it was earlier in the season, but he's actually number 6 on the money list despite being number 14 ranked for the tournament. He is going to move up next season when the provisional rankings are confirmed after this year's tournament. So he'll come through this at a breeze between 10-3 and 10-5. Barry Hawkins versus Hossein Vafai next, and what a year it's been for Barry Hawkins. After falling out of the 16 last year, he found himself 11th for this year's tournament in the seedings, and he's number 7 on the 1-year rankings, so I think he moves up to number 9 after the tournament on the provisional rankings, but a good run could see him climb even higher. But he's going to be in the 16th for next season, which is really good to see. Back to somewhere near his best. I think he comes through this relatively unscathed. 10-6, 10-7. Finally, Mark Williams versus Wu Yis. And Mark Williams, a bit like John Higgins, still playing some of his best stuff. Although his form has dipped last couple of tournaments. I think in the shorter format of this World Championship, which is basically the first and second rounds, I think he can still do some damage. I think the further he goes, the more susceptible he becomes to like stamina issues and inconsistencies. But for this round, I think he'll come through. I'm going to say 10-8, but Yis will run him close. So based on those results, and I must say this is the hardest quarter to call. I think it's the most evenly contested for all 4 matches, maybe other than Guodong's game, but I think the others could all go either way. I think that Higgins beats Guodong and Hawkins beats Williams, and I think Hawkins actually beats Higgins in the quarterfinals. But I will just put a disclaimer, if Guodong beats Higgins, I think he'll go on to beat Barry Hawkins. But for this prediction, I'm going to say that Barry Hawkins comes through as the winner of quarter number 3 and becomes our 3rd semi-finalist. And finally, quarter number 4 sees Luca Brissell versus Ryan Day, and I'm calling it straight away. This is going to be an upset. Ryan Day is going to win this. Luca Brissell last year was defending champion. Worst defending champion performance I've ever seen. Reminded me of Andy Ruiz after he beat Anthony Joshua in the boxing. Won the heavyweight championship of the world, then just did nothing. Brissell is basically the snooker version of that. He's number 7 for this tournament, but he's number 42 on the 1-year rankings, and he's provisional 48 for next year. So he needs to have a good tournament to even get back in the top 32, which he's not going to do. He's going to go back to Ryan Day here, probably 10-6. Next up, Ding Junhui. I think he beats Zach Surety with ease. He's won the International Championship this year. He's an air of consistency. Number 10 seed, number 10 in the 1-year rankings. I think he moves up to number 6 provisionally at the moment, but he's had longevity. It's been around. He needs to win one of these, really. But I think he gets a very routine first-round win here, probably 10-5 or 10-6. Similar for Sean Murphy. He's playing qualified Daniel Wells. Sean Murphy obviously won the Masters earlier in the year. I think he wins similar sort of margin, 10-5, 10-6. He makes it through with relative ease as well. And rounding up the fourth quarter, again, Judd Trump against Zhu Yulang. I think, again, this is going to be a very easy win for Judd Trump. I think could win it 10-3, but I'll say that he wins this one 10-5 as well. And based on those results, I see this being one of the more routine quarters to predict. I think that Ding beats Ryan Day quite comfortably. Same with Judd Trump. He'll be too good for Sean Murphy. Number one on the one-year rankings. Miles ahead of everyone else on the money list, so he'll storm through here. And he'll also storm through Ding in the quarterfinals to be our fourth semi-finalist coming out of quarter number 4. That will be Judd Trump. So we'll try to predict who's going to win based on these semi-finals. Not that I'm expecting it to look anything like this when we actually get there. I know there's going to be a lot more shocks, but they are so hard to predict. We will do a hypothetical run through just in case I have managed to predict the semi-finals correctly. I think in the first quarter-final, Cohen Wilson will beat Mark Selby in an absolute thriller. And I think Judd Trump will beat Barry Hawkins. It'll be quite one-sided. And then in the final, I think Judd Trump beats Cohen Wilson in a really good game and goes on to lift his second World Championship. So I'm predicting that Judd Trump will be your 2025 World Snooker Champion. So that was my prediction for the 2025 World Snooker Championship. Please let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Let us know your opinions. We've tried to get back to everyone who comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.